You know, I've been walking around here at AI for Good, talking to scientists, robotics engineers, and I think to myself, why can't you just explain it to me like I'm 10 years old? Luckily, I found the perfect people to do that. I've got here Katia Moskvitch and her son Kai. You guys have a podcast called The Quantum Kid. Webby nominated, more than 120,000 subscribers on YouTube. Welcome. It's great to meet you both. Kai, you just turned 10.
Yes.
And you have interviewed Nobel Prize winners, some of the top scientists in the world. I'll tell you, it took me till a lot older than 10 to have that happen. What has this been like for you? Are you enjoying having the podcast?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun just doing cool stuff and then like on YouTube, then having people watch it and learn lots. It's nice.
Yeah, you've got a big audience now, which is really terrific. And Katia, you know, you're a physicist, but also you were a journalist and an editor, and so you're used to explaining complicated things. How did this idea come about?
Yeah, so indeed, I love explaining science. I am a scientist myself, but I really love explaining it to a broad audience. That's what I did before through my articles and so on. And Kai started watching science shows. He started watching Mark Rober, Crunch Labs, and so on. Blippi, there we go. And started asking lots of questions. And some of the questions were quite fascinating, but also complex. And I thought maybe I'm not the right person to always answer, this whole range of questions. So I asked him, how about you ask actual scientists in those fields to explain that to you? And then we can share it with a broader audience. And we tried that, and it worked. He loves asking questions, and the questions are, but because it's a kid asking them, then by default, the person he interviews kind of switches into that mind frame when they explain it in a very accessible way.
Yeah, I think that's so important because even for us adults, particularly at a conference like this, sometimes the conversations get so in the weeds that the average person can't really absorb what it means for them and for their lives. And I'm just curious, how have these scientists reacted to Kai's questions? And is it making them sort of think twice about how they communicate with the world?
Well, Kai, what do you think? How do they react when you ask them questions?
Well, then what my mum used to say is that they always would naturally say it in an easy way, and it actually works because I ask questions and then they say it in a very interesting way. Like in the first video, I asked, what is a qubit? And then I think that if I would be a grown-up and I would ask that, then he would say it in a very complicated way. Renato would say it in a complicated way. But now with me, he just said it in a very easy way that can be in a superposition, and that it's not a bit, but a qubit.
So that's a great way to get to the quantum topic. Let me ask you, Kai, can you explain to me, like I'm 10, what a qubit is?
A qubit is basically not like individual bits like ones or zeros, but it's a qubit which can have superposition and could be both a 1 and a 0. And then also at the same time, if you were in a quantum computer, it can multitask and look at all the options because it's not a 1 or a 0, but both. And it's, yeah.
I maybe should have asked you to explain it like I'm 5 instead of 10, but I think I a little bit get it. But Katia, it brings up a really important point. We're here at AI for Good, and obviously AI has dominated the global conversation for a couple of years now, but quantum is rapidly evolving. And what should we, as kind of average consumers of this kind of information, know about where quantum's at right now and what its potential is?
Yeah, I think quantum is indeed evolving super rapidly, especially for the past 5 years or so. It's been getting out of the research labs and into the commercial applications. Finally, that's exactly what we've been waiting for. And the promises are huge because we think that it can help us discover new materials much more rapidly, discover new drugs, for example, to fight the next pandemic and so on. to optimize so many things and so many industries, from manufacturing to air travel. For example, if you want to fly and you need to find the most optimal path for your aircraft, then the quantum computer, instead of looking at just one or two possibilities, it can analyze all the different routes at the same time and find the best optimal route for your aircraft and so on. And that's just one example. It could be a lot more for space travel, for applications in the warehouse or in a busy port and so on. And we are starting to see huge advances towards those applications. We are not there yet, but I think in the next 5 to 10 years, there will be huge progress.
Okay, well, we will certainly keep our eye on that. And Kai, what is next for the podcast and for your work on YouTube? What would you like to do next there?
Well, my goal is basically to educate lots of people, and that means that next thing that I'll try and do is to have more engaging content. Like, for example, the first episode with Renato, as I said, it was not that engaging because it was just us talking. But then in future episodes, like, or not future, but like now, we went to live events, we went on stage, we went even to the Atacama Desert in South America, and even to Alma and whatever. But yeah, it's just in the future, so it's more engaging, more fun for people to watch. And then, as also Mark Rober says, hiding the vegetables, where you actually are learning stuff while you just think you're having fun, you're learning lots of stuff. You're educating yourself.
You are a real inspiration to kids out there who are interested in science. Congrats on the success of the podcast. Kai, Katia, thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.